Coach Matt Griffith, the head football coach and athletic director at Sylacauga High School, takes a few minutes with us this morning. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's a hectic time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's spring. We always say that fall's for football. You know, winter's for basketball, and then spring's chaos because you've got a bunch of sports going on and kids are everywhere, and it's been a very chaotic spring, but it's been a good spring for our sports. But we're winding everything down. We've got spring training done, and kids are not even at school today. These are makeup exams today, and we wind it up as teachers Monday.
Well, as athletic director, you kind of got to keep your hand on the pulse of all these sports.
Sure. And listen, it's been a great year for sports at Sylacauga. I mean, and I can run through it real quick if you want me to, because I love to brag on our coaches and I love to brag on our kids. You know, football had the 9th straight year without a losing season. They went to the playoffs for the 5th straight time. We won 8 games. Volleyball had a little bit of a transition year. He had a great year last year and graduated a bunch of seniors. So, you know, they struggled in spots, but Patrick does a great job there. Both basketball teams went to the Final Four. I thought that was tremendous. And they both were beat by the eventual state champ. Softball made the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. He's performed really well. We're real proud of Jay and that program. Soccer. Our girls soccer made the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row, went 2nd round, won the county again. Boys soccer won the county, won the region, went to a Final Four appearance, and got beat by the eventual state champion, Randolph. Track had a tremendous year. I think there's 15, 16 kids qualify for the state track meet. We had a state champion, Morgan O'Neill. She won the 300, she won the 400, and that's 6 state championships in 3 years for her. A tremendous athlete. We finished 2nd in the high jump and 2nd in the 4x1. That's the first time we've been in the top 3 in the boys in a long time. So, you know, it's been a great year. Tennis played well, especially the girls. Our golf team performed in the sectionals real well. So, you know, as AD, you take the football hat off, and AD, there's a lot of positive, very good things going on at the high school. And I want to say that we live in such a negative culture now, and Sylacauga's no different. Every town's no different. We have a tendency to dwell on the negative all the time, but people watching this show needs to know, you know, between our facilities and the things going on in our sports programs, there is a lot of positive in this town. There's a lot of positive things at the high school. There's a lot of good people still in charge in the sports programs that are teaching kids the right things. And, you know, people have a tendency to dwell on the negative, but the positive highly outweighs the negative right now at Sylacauga. Do we have some problems in certain areas? Sure, everybody does. But we're slowly getting those things corrected. And but I want people to be proud of what we're doing, and they've got a right to be proud of their kids and our sports programs and the whole athletic department, because of what's being accomplished. I mean, it is. And if you'll just come up there and watch and don't believe things that you hear on the street, because half of it's not even true, you know, and we're just living in that culture now. But a lot of positive things. Very proud of our sports programs.
Remember when you first came to Sylacauga some 13 years ago now, one of your dreams was to have that new stadium.
Sure.
And we talked about this time last year if we're going to be able to get everything done. And man, it is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and they're still hitting certain things that were left undone. I think they started in finally on the bathrooms. They've ripped the bathrooms out. I think they're going to put a whole new floor in. They may lower the ceiling. They're going to put brand new partitions in there. They're going to build countertops, especially in the females. So they'll be changing tables in case you had a baby. So all those things are getting done. We break ground, I think, 2 days after the week of 4th of July, where we tear down the dugouts and tear down the concession stand at the baseball park. That's been a lifelong thing.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. And we tried to tell people when we were doing the stadium that it was in stages, that we're going to get to it. Well, you know, people they're very impatient now. So they don't believe it, and they think football or soccer is getting everything, but it was always in the plan. It just took time. And we break ground, and we put a brand new scoreboard up there already, and it's really pretty. And they break ground in July. They'll break ground in the softball at the same time. And that's going to take, hopefully we get that done before their season starts. And when that's done, we've done every single thing that we could probably. You know, we've renovated almost every single sports facility that we possibly could in this town, and we've got something to be proud of. And I'll mention this. I take it back, Jimmy Dale, when we played Spanish Fort in the second round. And people from Spanish Fort came up here. And, of course, they had new facilities, and they just really got online and made fun of our place. We played Briarwood Monday night, and I've never heard more compliments directed towards Sylacauga than the Briarwood coaching staff and those people that came in. They could not say enough of how much has been done and how nice it is. And it is a reflection of your town. When people see your facilities, it is the impression that you make. And we're starting to make a tremendous impression now because it shows that we care about what's going on.
Well, spring training just finished up.
It did.
And talk about that a little bit.
Well, a lot of new faces. You know, we lost 9 people offensively. We lost 5 or 6 defensively. We don't have new faces, but we got a lot of faces in new positions. Spring's difficult here because we're so successful in the other sports. Your coaches are coaching other sports. So, you know, Coach Steers and Coach Crawford are both varsity football coaches. They were gone the first week to the state track meet. So, you know, me, I'm an old running back, quarterback coach. I went down and I coached the offensive line for a couple of days, which was a good switch for me. And then they got back. We only really got that the next week with a full coaching staff, but we operated without a DC. We operated without a DB coach. We brought Coach Posey kind of out of retirement to help me put the defense in. I brought John Blackman out of retirement.
Oh, man.
So John helped me with DBs, and we're fortunate. You know, we're fortunate to have those guys in our community that I can rely on when things get in a bind. And I was really worried going into the spring game with new faces and a lack of coaches, but our kids are Sylacauga kids. They got after it. I was pleased with the effort. Every mistake that was made is very correctable, and it's because they're new, playing new positions. We've got a great quarterback battle going on right now between Keaton Wilson and Dalen Keith. They both bring a lot to the table.
You're high on both of those kids.
I'm high on both of them. I think both of them bring a lot to the table. Keaton's that tall, lean, smooth quarterback that has a tremendous arm, reads the option well right now. He took a year off last year, but he's really making a lot of progress. Dalen is just a blazingly fast athlete that escapes. You just can't get a hand on him. And they bring a lot to the table. Both are very smart, very intelligent kids, and that's what you want at quarterback. And so we're excited. We're a little small up front. We're much smaller than we have been in the past. Our offense is going to have to adjust to that. But if we get some things corrected, we think we can be very competitive.
So can Sylacauga fans look for a different type of Aggie football this fall?
Well, you know, defensively, we're still in the hunting for a DC. We're flexible there of whether to stay in our 4-3 or go to a 4-2-5 because we've got so many more DB kids than we do linebacker kids. So we're still in that process. Offensively, we're always going to be an option-style football team. But we went a lot of different places to study what people are calling the RPOs, the run-pass options, getting the ball outside quicker with bubble screens and those kind of, and getting that ball into those skill guys' hands and not having to just run between the tackles. We just don't have that big back to pound the 4 and 5 and eat the clock. We love that kind of football, and we win in the fourth quarter, but it's going to be a little bit different because we'll have a hard time doing that with the size of our kids, but the quickness of our kids can get outside, and that's what we're going to have to do.
How long did it take you to get over the Clara loss?
Yeah, am I over it? Yeah. It took longer than I thought. That one hurt. Knowing that you were 1 point away from winning 9 games and having a shot, we think that we matched up better versus Carroll of Ozark, knowing that you could win 10 and be in the quarterfinals. And you're 1 point away. That was a tough loss. It was tough for the kids, tough for the coaches. Usually I'm over it in 2 or 3 days. That one I was still dwelling on that in January. You know, by February, I had kind of resigned myself. Well, it happened. Let's go. Let's go. And by then, you're ready to go and you're already building the next football team.
Schedule change this fall?
It's the same schedule, home and away switch. And then at the end of this year, it will be the new year to do the redistricting.
Got a few holes to fill as far as coaches are concerned.
We do. You know, we're still hunting the DC. I talked to a guy this afternoon. He comes in again. And we've had great candidates. Don't take that the wrong way. I've probably vetted 15 to 18 guys. We've offered it to 3 or 4, but we're running into most of those guys are Birmingham area. You know, they're Spain Park, they're Hoover, they're in that pocket. And I really wanted to go with a young, energetic guy that's wanting to be a DC or, you know, and I've talked to a couple that were already DCs. We're just, you know, those bigger schools pay a lot. They pay a lot, and they're in a central location where we're kind of, and it's tough, you know, me and you were talking about it. We're having to find a guy that was looking for the same things that I was looking for 12, 13 years ago. We've got to find a guy that's got small family kids and is looking for a family-oriented town. You're not getting a young, energetic assistant that's single to move to Sylacauga much. You know, it's just, there's not a lot going on. You know, and your perspectives change. When you hit your 30s and start having kids, you're looking for this type of town. So we've had to kind of switch gears to what we're looking for in a DC, but we're going to find the right guy. The biggest thing is this, when you're hunting coaches, and I've learned this the hard way over the last 4 or 5 years as an AD, is that on paper, you know, you always want to hire the best coach for that sport. Best coach. But sometimes the best coach is not the best fit for Sylacauga. What we've got to find is the best coach that is the best fit for this town and will be in the long run. And that's hard to do sometimes, but we're doing it. We're trying. We're going through that process.
What's next for you? Just finishing up spring training, and what is next for these football players as we head to the summer months?
Well, they get 2 weeks off now. They get next week and the next week off. And then we'll start back June 6th in our summer workout program. We'll go every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings at 8:30. They go 3 days a week, and they'll do that all summer long. We'll give them the week of 4th of July off.
Is that where teams are made in the summer?
I think it's a lot of where teams are made with work ethic, with showing up, and you get a lot done now. The rules have changed so much in the last 10 years in that you can do anything you want to in the summer. And now they let you wear a helmet. So you wear a helmet every day. You can rep plays every single day, and that's where we're going to get better. Now, I tell you, the teams...
So coaches can work with the kids every day?
Coaches can work with the kids every day.
Wow.
Look, they've loosened all the rules with your spring sports. You can take basketball and baseball can play the whole month of June. They can play other schools the whole month of June. You know, and to football-wise, this is where I think you make your team from about December to April in the weight room. That's when you're going to get your strongest. The summer is when you really, after spring training, hone in on the things that need to be corrected from the spring game and get smooth at what you're doing so that the kids' knowledge is ready. You know, and if we can do that, we've got a lot of work to do, but if we do that, we'll be fine.
Also, it was announced, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago that Chad Slayton had left as baseball coach. You're looking for a coach there as well?
We are. We wish Chad best luck. You know, when Chad came here too, you know, we became very good friends. And, you know, Chad's a very good quality coach that's proven that he can win. He's won 2 state championships at Childersburg. And I think it was a little bit of a mutual thing. Things weren't working out on either side. He's used to doing it a certain way, and I wish Chad all the best of luck. Matter of fact, I talked to him last night for a couple of hours, and you know, we are looking for a baseball coach, and I've asked for help on that regard. We ran it last time, and I got so busy in the spring. We're very fortunate. Our superintendent is a former baseball coach. And what I've been doing since I've got all the connections in coaching, most people send me resumes, and I've been sending them all to Dr. Freeman, and he's vetting them, every one of them first, so that we can filter out the ones we don't need to talk to. And then eventually in the next couple of weeks, we're going to sit down, and he's going to run those interview processes with Mr. Murphy, our high school principal, and we're going to come up with the best candidate. We really are. And I think this is a better process maybe than what we did last time, because Dr. Freeman's got his hands on it, and he's running through those resumes, and I think that helps. You know, we made a joke the other day. He asked me, he says, do you want to do all this? And I said, look, I run in coaching circles, but he runs in administration circles, and the two are like night and day almost. And so you think you have to take coaching circles and administrative circles and bring it together to get the right hire. And if one does it, usually you miss, or the other does it, you miss, but maybe together we won't miss this time. So,
all right. we'll follow that story. And Coach and Athletic Director at Sylacauga High School, Matt Griffith, here with us this morning. Now, we've got about 60 seconds left.
Sure.
Touch on the spring game a little bit with Briarwood.
Briarwood had everybody back. They had won 10, 11 games last year, and they looked smoother offensively. You could tell that they were an older bunch. I thought defensively that we played really, really well at first till we got a little tired. I thought we tackled well. Offensively, we looked about what I thought we were going to look like. There were some hiccups early till we settled down. I thought both quarterbacks showed a lot of athletic ability. We still got some work to do up front. We probably blocked the wrong way 85% of the time, but the kids were getting after it. You know, Coach Steers would get that fixed, okay? But the effort was there. That's what we were proud of. There was a lot of effort, and you can get all the stuff fixed. So it ended up being, if you wanted to keep score, because we really weren't, but it was a 14-7 ball game. That's not counting the turnovers they had to put us in good position, because it didn't count, because it was controlled. I was proud of our young kids. I think the Deloach kid played really well young at quarterback. I thought the Hoseclaw kid played really good at linebacker and running back. So we've got some. Right. It's fun. Coach, it's fun.
Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Top of the hour coming up here on Daybreak.